This is Clark Kent from the Daily Planet in association with the Predatory Lending Network. Now, recently we've had quite a tragedy on the east coast of the United States on this planet, and we're talking to some superheroes about what they can do to help the folks in the east coast of the United States about this recent Hurricane Sandy. Now, Psylocke, what can you do to help folks in the affected areas?
With my powers. What I would be most concerned about now would be stopping the looting and the violence that happens after the hurricane. I could use my mind powers to calm people, to relieve some of the stress and to keep them from fighting each other. The looting is a big problem, and the hurricane comes through and it created that disaster. But the thing that is the scariest is that now people are turning on each other in the streets over gasoline and food and all of that. So
now, in the last great storm they had in Louisiana, there was quite a bit of rioting and violence and stuff like that, and the police needed some support. Now, what can we do to support our local police and
our local police,
or the police in the affected area?
I would say for us to support the local police.
Yeah, like superheroes and folks throughout the galaxy.
Mm-hmm. To just step in and be helpful. There are lots of ways to donate to the cause. There are lots of ways that people can come help and rebuild the cities, all of the devastation. But mostly, I think it would just be to stay calm and to help in any way that you can.
So, if there is any last minute things you'd like to say to the people about New York or in the affected areas, what would you like to say to them?
Just if you can help, if you can help in any way, if you can donate in any way. There are lots of people accepting donations. There are lots of organizations that are getting out there providing supplies for people. So if you can do that, then that's the best way, I think, now to handle it.
So in closing, this is Clark Kent, the Daily Planet and the Predatory Lending Network, signing out. Now, this is Clark Kent from the Daily Planet in association with the Predatory Lending Network. Now, I'm here with some folks from New York because of the recent tragedies that we've had, with Loki's army and the more recent Hurricane Sandy. Now, I'm talking to some folks from New York and in the affected area, and I'm asking them about that. Now, Spidey, I know you were a New York native and your area is pretty affected. What do you have to say about the effects from Hurricane Sandy?
Well, it's definitely a tragedy. It's a tragedy. We're lucky it's not worse, though. Wish I could do more to help.
And you, Black Widow?
New York has seen many tough times, from 9/11 to Loki's army to now, and the greatest thing about New York is that they're strong people, it's a loyal community, and we'll get through it.
Ditto.
Well, it's affected me in a really big way, because getting these new powers and all, and then having to deal with school and the fact that, my uncle tried to kill me, and it's just a lot to take in, especially with this hurricane, So, I just got these, trying to learn how to use them, and I'm just doing what I can, repping Brooklyn and trying to rep as Spider-Man as best as I can,
And Venom?
Well, I hope the people in New York stay resilient, just like I'll stay resilient, whooping their tails.
Now, I know there's quite a bit of charitable things here at Long Beach Comic Con to raise funds for various charities and stuff like that. Do you guys have kind of like a Spider Friends charity or something that you as Spider folks can do to help the folks in New York?
Yeah, I'm actually organizing something right now. These two guys aren't being as cooperative as I like, but hopefully we'll rectify that after this.
Well, I know there's a lot of stuff going on in my school right now. Like, they're having bake sales, and, we're actually doing a lot of fundraising events and stuff like that. Although I'm not really usually a part of them, because if I'm not studying, I'm, out and about trying to, learn how to swing on webs and, trying to join the Ultimate Avengers and stuff like that. So, but,
You're giving away too much information.
Yeah. I'm still new to this. Come on.
He's kind of young, huh? Now, you've been doing it a little longer, Spidey. What do you do for the folks in New York?
I give them my heart. I give them my best. But as far as charities go, you want to watch out for a lot of them are crooked schemes just to get your money.
Make sure kind of a Lex Luthor type charity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Director Fury, of course, is going to be sending SHIELD agents for any of those that are trapped, and I do know actually legitimately the Red Cross, you can donate to the Red Cross.
Now I know there's been people have talked about quite a bit of looting and stuff like that. What is SHIELD and doing to help with the looting in the area?
The looting?
Well, some of the other viewers have said there's been some various crime and violence and stuff like that due to all these troubles.
I think right now we're not worrying about materialistic items. We're worrying about the people and getting them to safety first. So TVs, everything else, no worries.
We'll clean up the streets later.
Yeah, just do my part and help all those less fortunate.
Yeah, you know, I just want to inspire the kids to reach higher and strive for things that they don't have right now, and I'm going to pray for them. That's what I'm going to do.
So in closing, is there any last minute things you'd folks like to say?
I hope we don't fight Venom.
I can't quite guarantee that, but I'm going to continue to do what I do and whoop their tails and raise money for the people, and yeah.
Spider friends, go for it.
We just want to know that even though we're way out here, we're here for you, and we're going to help out in any way that we can.
So in closing, this is Clark Kent from the Daily Planet and Predatory Lending Network signing out.
So you're really Superman.
No, I don't know who Superman is. That's not me. I'm not Superman. Now, this is Clark Kent from the Daily Planet in association with the Predatory Lending Network. Now, we know there's been quite a recent tragedy with Hurricane Sandy throughout the galaxy and affected large parts of the United States. And we're asking some of the superheroes throughout the galaxy, what can they do to help the folks in the affected area? Now, what can you do with your powers to help the folks?
Well, I can probably lift things with my pole and throw them out of the way if at all needed. I can also blow things up if things are blocked or things like that. So I think that would be very helpful.
Now, there's a bit of charity work here for other charities, events and stuff like that. If there were any particular charities that you would support for the cleanup efforts, which ones would you choose?
Well, for the cleanups, I don't know any of the specific names offhand, but I mean, any of the charities that we're helping clean up, I would definitely support that.
Now, I know there's quite a few superheroes out of the New York area and stuff like that. Is there anything that you would have to say to the super people in New York to help them in this?
I mean, just, you know, keep trucking, and, you know, I think just do the best you can with what you have, and hopefully, you know, there'll be more support and there'll be more help from outside sources, and they'll be able to get through it.
Is there any last minute things you'd like to say to the people in the affected areas?
Yeah, good luck with everything, and I wish you the best.
So in closing, this is Clark Kent from the Daily Planet and Predatory Lending Network signing out. Now, this is Clark Kent from the Daily Planet in association with the Predatory Lending Network. Now, we're here because of the recent events from Hurricane Sandy has affected many people in New York. So we're talking to some superheroes from New York about what can the superhero community do for the folks in the affected area. Now, what can we do for the folks, Casey?
Well, most of the things I go out and do, you just help out in the streets. Get out there, help people evacuate from the areas they need to get home, get maybe a hotel room to, just get someplace safe.
Now, you as a reporter too,
Absolutely.
Honey?
April O'Neill from News Channel 6. Good to see you, New York.
Now, you've interviewed other people about this subject. What are you finding that people are doing?
I'm finding that people are really sticking together. It's showing the personality and how everyone is in the whole area there, making sure they've got each other's backs. I have a friend in New York who she works with Smart Flyer Media, and she's helping with hotel rooms there, giving shelter to people who don't have electricity or their homes back.
Now, if people want to support that particular organization, how would they go about doing that?
You would look for Smart Flyer on Facebook.
And they'll help people with housing?
Yeah, and it's Arena Pindar, and they've been helping them out.
Now, what other things are you doing? I know you're quite popular with the Ninja Turtles and stuff. What are the Turtles and the rest of the gang doing to help the folks in the affected areas?
Anybody who's been flushed down into the sewers where the guys are hanging out, they try and help them, you know, get back to the surface and stay dry.
They supply the pizzas, delicious pizzas.
Yeah, I know New York is famous for their pizza. How do you think the pizzas will change after all this?
I think they're going to stay strong, even taste even better after such a hard time.
Yep, out there, you're working up a good hunger, you need to eat something to eat, you got a good place at Original Rays.
Now, in closing, is there any, besides your charity, is there any other charities you would suggest that people support?
Not that I'm familiar with, but I'm sure just keep an eye out, everybody, and just keep helping each other through it.
So in closing, any last minute things you'd like to say?
Stay dry out there.
Yeah, take good care of each other.
So in closing, this is Clark Kent from the Daily Planet, signing out. Now, this is Clark Kent from the Daily Planet in association with the Predatory Lending Network. Now, due to the recent Hurricane Sandy, there's been quite a few people affected by that on the east coast of the United States. So I'm talking to Batman and Robin about what can they do with their superpowers to help the people in the affected areas. So what can you guys do to help the folks in New York and the other affected areas? What can you do, Batman?
I'd first start off by beating the hell out of somebody. Actually, since we don't actually have any superpowers, not a whole lot, except beat the hell out of people with our bare hands.
And provide food for the people that are less fortunate.
Indeed.
Yes.
Now, who do you think should provide that food? Any particular rich billionaires, or that should actually, you know, they say the rich aren't doing enough. Is there any billionaires that should give more?
Bruce Wayne, because he's a very nice man.
I'm sure he would be able to cough up some money. Yes.
Yes.
Now, there's other villains and stuff that, you know, like Lex Luthor, Oliver Queen. Do you see any other people that should be giving more? You know, because they say the rich just aren't giving enough.
Really, I think everybody should have a hand and be involved with such activities as far as helping out. It all starts on the ground level and works its way up.
Now, I know there's quite a bit of charitable organizations people are saying support. Is there any ones that you'd particularly like to support? Red Cross or anything like that, or disaster relief funds?
The Bruce Wayne Foundation.
Robin?
The Red Cross. Yes, that's the only one I thought of.
Now, is there anything last minute that you'd like to say to the people in the affected areas, New York or anywhere else?
If I see anybody rioting, they're going to get a foot up their ass.
Get out of trouble.
So in closing, this is Clark Kent from the Daily Planet, signing out. This is Clark Kent from the Daily Planet in association with the Predatory Lending Network. Now, there were some recent hurricanes that with Hurricane Sandy that affected quite a few people in the United States. So we're asking superheroes throughout the galaxy, what can they do with their superpowers to help the folks in the affected areas? So Superman, what can you do to help the folks in those affected areas?
Well, as you know, Superman stands for justice, truth, and the American way. The American way is for people to lend each other a hand, help each other out, whether it be with supplies, money, support, whatever it is. It's all about helping each other out.
Now, is there any particular ways that you show to have people join together and help the people in the affected areas?
Well, there's a lot of ways. You can give to the local charities. You can go and help them out by giving them food and supplies that they need. Basically, take a personal approach to it.
Now, I knew you've done quite a bit of work in New York and stuff like that. Is there any particular projects that people are having a real challenge with right now, like cleaning up the subways or anything like that right now?
Yeah, well, that's one of the major ones, is cleaning up the subways, getting all the water out of the subways and stuff like that. But that's up to the city and, you know, those people.
Now, if you were encouraging people to help and join together, what would you say to those people? How can they be super friends and actually help the folks in New York?
The best thing to do is just to remember that a human being is just like you. If you're ever in need or you ever were in need, then you know what it feels like. So it's just a matter of giving that compassion back to those that are in need right now.
So in closing, is there any last minute things you'd like to say?
Do your part, and it will come back to you tenfold.
So in closing, this is Clark Kent from the Daily Planet and the Predatory Lending Network, signing out.